Hello my loyal companions, how are you today? I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to bring you another episode of Rogue Revealed. I'm going to go over another rogue guide, and in this episode it's going to be my personal favourite rogue so far, and that is CHAAC. I'm going to go over his role within the game, go over his weapons, abilities, perks, etc. Then I'm going to tell you how I would upgrade him and maybe some alternative upgrades as well. And then finally I'm going to give you some tips about how you should play CHAAC. CHAAC is a really cool rogue and fits my playstyle perfectly. He's designed around moving fast around the map, getting flank positions and fragging out for a bunch of kills. He has great survivability with his ultimate ability that I'll get into in a second, and he can absolutely rip through teams if he gets the right positioning with his SMG. He can be played on either attack or defense, but I do think he leans slightly more towards the attacking side due to his nature of play with the flanking routes and having to be quite aggressive. If you are on a defending team, you have to trust your teammates to be able to hold down the position long enough for you to get those routes, whereas when you're on attack you can get in a good position anyway and just frag out. Either way, he is completely designed around solo carrying a team, and my best highlights so far have been with CHAAC. Let's jump into what his abilities do, his gadgets, his perks, and everything you need to know about his base equipment. Looking at his bio, CHAAC is a ruthless vigilante before joining the Rocco. CHAAC makes up for a regretful past by bringing justice to those in need. So a bit of backstory there for you. I do hope they expand the lore in this game. I think it could be quite interesting. As for his passive, is Grit. While downed, he gains increased health and the ability to dodge roll. This is really useful because it means you can reposition when you get down and just hopefully he's trying to stop their thirst. That leads really nicely into his ultimate ability, which is Stimpak, which has two main uses. The first one is it acts as a self-revive. So if you pop it when you're down, you will actually revive back up to 30 health as if you were just being revived by a teammate, but you can do it completely independently. The other use for his Stimpak is actually just as a health boost. If you use it, you gain an additional 75 health at any point. If you go over 100 with that, it will slowly start depleting down back to 100, but it caps at 175. This is what really allows CHAAC to be him and be in his element, because he's able to 1v2 with his massive health boosting and get in the middle of a fight. As for his weapons, we'll go over them. So the first weapon he has is the SKL6 shotgun. Now this is an okay shotgun. It's a pump action shotgun with a base mag of 5. As you upgrade it, you increase that magazine size to 8. You then increase its damage range and you increase its hipfire accuracy. This shotgun is good and you can absolutely melt through people. It definitely fits into his playstyle. But as for you, whether you pick between this and the SMG, it's sort of up to your own personal preference. His SMG is the D40C, a fantastic SMG in my opinion. The D40C is a high capacity submachine gun. As you upgrade it, you increase its hipfire accuracy, which is key, increases damage range and reduces recoil. All of these are really useful stats, and it has a base mag of 40 that can't increase any higher, but that is really high for an SMG, and that really allows him to frag out for those 1v2 sort of scenarios. You can tell he is definitely designed to 1v2 based on his kit. His pistol is the Spitfire, which is a state-of-the-art automatic pistol, meaning if you hold down the trigger it will continue to pump out bullets. This is a really good pistol. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is pretty effective. Its base mag size is 15. As you upgrade that, you increase it to 20, and then as you do the last upgrade, it suppresses the fire and reduces reticle bloom, making it a pretty accurate and stealthy gun. This gun can absolutely decimate on pistol rounds. His melee weapon is the Katana. As you upgrade it, you increase its throw damage and then you increase its swing damage. His two gadgets are the Flashbang, which temporarily blinds anyone within its blast radius. As you upgrade that, you increase the throw distance and then the gadget count by 1. Alternatively, you can use the Semtex, which is a grenade that sticks to surfaces and people before exploding. As you upgrade it, it increases the throw speed and the explosion radius. As for his perks, like many rogues, he has shredder rounds, which deal more damage to equipment and carry more ammunition. His second perk is Cloaked, which makes you become immune to being revealed by enemies. This is a really great counter to rogues like Dallas. His third perk is Stalker, which removes aim down sight's movement speed penalty, meaning you move just as quickly as you strafe aimed ADS as you do if you weren't ADS and you hip firing. His next perk is Helping Hands, which helps revive teammates faster. Not really his kind of playstyle. The next one is Replenish, which when downing an enemy, it reloads your currently equipped weapon and restores ammunition. This is really great for those 2v1 scenarios or multiple more. Again, same vein is his last perk, Life Drain, which when downing an enemy heals you for a significant amount over a short duration. I believe it heals you for something like around 50 to 70 health. I haven't exactly got the exact number, but it is a really good portion. This again super useful if you're in a 1v2 scenario. My personal recommendation for his kit is actually to take the SMG. That would be my preferred weapon of the two, but again, that's really playstyle. Both have their place. The SMG is a good all-round weapon. The shotgun, it tends to be only for specific maps and specific push routes. The Spitfire is a great pistol, and I would recommend upgrading that. The Katana, I don't really like the melee weapons in this game, and out of the two gadgets, I personally would use the Flashbang if I would use it, but mainly I spend my money on the perks. But if I have a spare 4,000, then I will jump on a Flashbang. My favourite perks in order are Life Drain, then Replenish, and then depending on the scenario, I do like Cloaked. If not, then Stalker is fantastic. Then probably Helping Hands, but you don't really get to the point in the game where this is useful, and Shredder Rounds I find pretty useless on him. Now that you've got an overview of his weapons and gear and things, I will go over some different upgrade routes of how I like to upgrade him depending on the game scenarios. When you jump into the first round and you have your 5,000, you need to decide on what you want to buy. Now again, I don't really buy melee weapons, I don't really see the point. So for me it weighs up to two options. Either I fully upgrade the pistol and I run around with that, which is a monster in pistol rounds, or I may go for Cloaked straight off the bat, and I would only do this if I see that their team has some heavy reveal champions, such as Dallas. If I see Dallas, I'll always get Cloaked first, just because of his ability means you will always be revealed. But other rogues such as Phantom or Talent, I will buy Cloaked for as well, depending on the game scenario. As you progress into round 2, I would always say to grab your preferred weapon. If that is the shotgun, you should probably focus on upgrading it as soon as possible. It definitely needs all 3 upgrades to be its most effective. If you're actually getting the SMG, I would advise always make sure you get the first extra hipfire accuracy upgrade, but after that you don't need to upgrade it immediately. You should at some point, but you don't need to. You should then opt for maybe a perk or 2 such as Life Drain, or Cloaked if you haven't got it. Then work on your final upgrades for the SMG in the later rounds, and then if you still have money into rounds 4, 5 and 6, you may as well buy any additional perks. To be able to do this, you have to be confident with your SMG handling, although to be honest, if you're playing as CHAAC, you really do need to be confident anyway, because you are there to do 1v2 scenarios and really frag out. He's not necessarily the kind of rogue who needs to play with his team. He can play pretty separate and still do really well. CHAAC is by far my most played rogue, so I'm going to give you some tips that I think will really help you maximise his gameplay. The first of these tips is to not be afraid to flank, to leave your team in flank whether on attack or defence. Your whole kit is designed around being in outnumbered scenarios and being able to win it as long as you're confident with your gunplay. Use this to your advantage and make sure you're going ham, trying to pick people off a position, reposition behind the enemy and then clean up for your team. As long as you're confident your team can do their jobs wherever they are, then you can look to reposition. You just need to make sure you're not getting caught out of positions, checking corners really carefully, even using a flashbang potentially if you are unsure. My next 2 tips are going to revolve around his stim pack, his ability. The first tip being, don't be afraid to use this just to heal. If you've just knocked an enemy and you know another one's around the corner, use your stim pack. Even if you're in a one-on-one engagement, they've got you quite low, you've got them quite low, if you stim pack, you'll then be on full health plus and you can push them really effectively with their minimal health. It's a lot easier to pull off a stim pack when you are still up and just to gain the extra health than it is to pull off a stim pack when you're down and need a self-revive. Feeding onto that though is actually my next tip, which is to make sure you get out of the way and reposition to use your self-revive. Your passive is amazing at giving you extra time to stay alive when you're down and reposition by rolling out of the way. You should then, when you're out of the way and behind cover, use your stim pack. Hopefully your teammates will see that you're down, know that you're CHAAC, and be able to give some suppressing fire for this to get off. The worst thing you can do is, as soon as you go down, immediately stim pack, because the enemy who's just killed you will look at you and think, okay, well I'm just going to shoot you while you're standing right here. My final tip to maximise your CHAAC gameplay is actually to be really aware of what's going on the map. As I said, he's a solo rogue, so he has the capability to 1v4, but that only works if you're really aware of where the enemies are on the map and where your teammates are looking down lines of sight. I would say CHAAC's role in the team a lot of the time, particularly on attacking, is the most valuable, so you need to make sure that you're not throwing that away because of bad positioning and bad map awareness. And likewise, if you are going for a flank, ping your team to get off so they don't give away your position. Well then guys, thank you for watching, and I do hope you've been able to take something away from this rogue rebuild video, whether it be just an overview of how CHAAC works, learning that he has a self-revive, which for a lot of players they don't know about, or whether it be some really useful tips to help play him a little bit better. He is a solo fragger and so you have to be really confident with your gunplay if you are going to play him to his best of ability. If you want to catch me live stream some Rogue Company, then you can follow me on twitch.tv/raddargaming, but if you just want to see more content on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the video so you don't miss out on more Rogue Rebuild videos. Other than that, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.